Mistakes during your Disney World vacation? Not on our watch. We're snuffing out the flames of major Disney World mishaps so you don't wind up getting burned. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. As the great philosopher and theologian Hannah Montana once said, nobody's perfect. So human error is bound to happen even in the midst of a fun-filled Disney World vacation that you've been planning and scheduling and saving for months. But here's the good news. Some of the worst mistakes you can make are also some of the easiest to not make. So let's fix those mistakes today so you can at least be one step closer to that perfect Disney World vacation. Also, please give Bria props in the comments for the whole snuffing out the flames so you don't wind up getting burned situation that opened this video, because that was, wow, that was some drama. Okay, first mistake you don't want to make: planning a full park day after a late night event. Before I get into the meat of this point, I got a question for all of you who've done an after hours event before. How many free Mickey Premium bars have you been able to consume in just a few hours? Because we've watched a friend eat 4 and then proceed to finish ours. And I just need to know if anyone's been able to top that. It's all for science. Anyway, back to the mistake. Recently, we just learned that After Hours will be returning to Hollywood Studios, Epcot, and Magic Kingdom next year, and we are so hyped about it. After Hours events are a separately ticketed purchase where the parks stay open for 3 extra hours for a limited number of guests, so that said guests can hop on rides with shorter waits, walk around the parks with no blaring sun and shoulder-to-shoulder crowds, meet rare characters, and enjoy complimentary snacks throughout the night, like the aforementioned Mickey Premium bars, as well as fruit bars, Mickey ice cream sandwiches, popcorn, and bottled sodas and waters. The mistake here does not have to do with attending the After Hours event, because we love these. The mistake is actually attending the After Hours event and then turning around the next day and having a full-on rope drop park day. Picture this. Let's say next year you're going to attend a Hollywood Studios After Hours event. Great. And then go to Magic Kingdom the very next day. The Hollywood Studios After Hours takes place between 9:30 and 12:30 a.m., though you can start heading into the park as early as 7 p.m. for that pre-party mix-in. Now, the Skyliner's going to stop running. All you're going to have available to you is buses. So the last time I attended an After Hours event, I didn't get back to my hotel room till 1:30. And then after that, I still had to get ready for bed. So it was well after 2 a.m. until my head finally hit the pillow. If you got kids, expect an extra hour on that. So if you're not in bed until 2 a.m., but you're planning on waking up just before 7 a.m. so you can snag a virtual queue for Tiana's Bayou Adventure, or go and get a rope drop spot for Animal Kingdom, that is not much sleep, my friends. And if you plan on getting up and around to use your early theme park entry benefit, a perk available for all guests staying at Disney-owned hotels that lets you in the park 30 minutes early, then you don't even have time to go back to bed after that to catch some Z's. So as you're scheduling out your Disney itinerary, plan around that After Hours ticket if you're planning on purchasing one, so you don't make everyone in your group miserable the next day. Leading up to the event itself, take things easy, sleep in, have a pool day, maybe walk around Disney Springs, and then after the event, schedule a break day for the very next day so your group can recuperate and be raring to go to the parks again after catching up on some much needed beauty rest. But seriously, let me know about the Mickey Premium bars. Next mistake that we just made ourselves is relying on Disney outlets for phone juice. Now, there have been quite a few times on this channel where we've talked about the places around Disney World where you can stop and take out your USB cord and charge up your phone in one of the park's handy little outlets. These are especially prevalent in places like World Celebration Gardens in Epcot, Communicore Hall and Plaza in Epcot, and exhibits around the World Showcase Pavilion, also in Epcot, like inside the China Pavilion and the American Adventure Pavilion, right outside those Rapunzel-tangled bathrooms in Magic Kingdom, inside the Storybook Circus tent, the one with the yellow coverage in Magic Kingdom, near the exit of Tower of Terror in Hollywood Studios, inside the Black Spire Marketplace in Hollywood Studios, near the Jarek card game table, and over at any of the baby care centers. Great info, right? There's lots of other places too, don't worry. But here's what I want you to take away from all of these. While these are fantastic little spots if you're in need of a quick charge, they're by no means going to juice up your technology super fast. The last time I used one of the World Celebration Gardens outlets to charge up my phone, I was there for 30 minutes and I think my phone only charged up 10 to 15%. And that's not a whole lot when your phone tends to drain quickly during the day while you're using the My Disney Experience app and the Play Disney Parks app, or you're just recording or taking pictures constantly on your phone too. It's still a better idea to have a portable charger on hand so you can juice up your phone without having to station yourself somewhere for a large chunk of time. Now, Disney does have portable charger options you can pick up at their fuel rod stations around the parks, though you can also find fuel rods before you go to Disney way cheaper on Amazon. But I want to talk about some portable chargers that we might like even better. Do you hate having that cord sticking out of your bag while you're charging on the go, making you look like a robot? Get one of those portable chargers that are equipped with built-in lightning connectors so you can plug it directly into your iPhone. It even folds into the charger so it takes up less room in your bag or pocket. Now, if you need to charge up multiple devices at a time, this is one that can charge up to 3 in one go. It also has a smart display that shows output and input power along with the estimated time to a full recharge. Now, warning, this one's pricey, but the charging speed is fast and the charger itself is durable. So the investment might be worth it for you if you find yourself needing a recharge multiple times. There are also the portable chargers that go above and beyond what we ask them to do for us, like this one that's also a mini fan and a flashlight, so it's like a Swiss Army knife of power banks. I've got a confession. I was hesitant about the new Country Bears musical Jamboree before it opened in July this year. Now, I don't know, it's not like I was extremely partial to the old version or anything, please don't come at me, but it's easy to be put on edge when classic attractions change, because they're classics. This is what you watched when you were a kid. And I hate having to say goodbye to things, which is why I always get to the second to last episode of Friends and then just start the whole series over again. We already know she gets off the plane. It's fine. Now, it's even more difficult to get on board with a Disney change when it feels like it's already being greeted with so much backlash online before it even gets its chance to shine. It's a lot like someone giving a movie a low rating on IMDb before said person gets the chance to watch the movie just because they want to follow the mob mentality of the negative press leading up to its release. Maybe it does turn out to be a really bad movie, but if maybe that person would have just given it a chance before jumping to conclusions, they would have enjoyed it, or at least parts of it. All of this to say, the new Country Bears musical Jamboree is really cute. I think Bunny, Bubbles, and Beulah knock it out of the ballpark in their pink sparkly attire, although I am still a little bit concerned about the midriff showing. But this was also a good reminder for me that change is uncomfortable, and I think it's important we don't automatically slip into the all change is bad mindset when new things are announced, because we might actually really enjoy the new stuff that's on the horizon. In fact, statistically, we probably will. Disney keeps making changes, and even though people complain, they keep going to Disney, right? Plus, remember, Walt Disney himself said that as long as there is imagination in the world, Disneyland will never be complete. So if the parks never change, they'd slip into that museum-like state. Disney never wanted that to happen. Does it mean we have to take on this toxic positivity mindset and enjoy all the changes made in the parks? Absolutely not. I'm still wondering what on earth happened to the whole Communicore Hall and Plaza concept and hoping it improves in the future so we can actually get our food and wine festival seminars back. That being said, I think it's a good idea to be flexible with your expectations before you experience the park's major changes. Give yourself the chance to enjoy them, even if it goes against what the online forums and Facebook groups might be saying. Okay, getting off my soapbox now. Heading into the Disney dining plan. Now repeat after me, no snack credit gets left behind. This will forever and always be my motto for the Disney dining plan, because if you spend money on the DDP, then by golly, I want to make sure you get your money's worth out of it. Quick Disney dining plan recap, and by quick I mean super speedy, but we go more in depth with how the DDP works in our other Disney dining plan specific videos, which you can check out after this. So the Disney dining plan allows you to prepay for your meals before you arrive. With a quick service plan, you get 2 quick service meals per day, and with a standard plan, you get a quick service meal and a table service meal per day. But no matter which plan you choose, every single person in your group will have 1 snack credit to use per day as well. Now, that might not sound like a whole lot until you're actually there, and then suddenly you find yourself still stuffed to the brim from a hearty lunch, trying to plan what you're going to have for dinner, and yet you somehow still have to squeeze in time for yet another food item to satisfy that snack credit purchase. And here's the really blah part of all this. You can't get refunds on any snack or dining credits that you don't spend. So if you forget or actively choose not to use a snack credit, you're basically throwing the money away, which goes back to my number 1 DDP motto, no snack credit gets left behind. So if you're struggling to figure out what to do with your snack credits, but you still want to use them so you don't have to lose them, here are some of our favorite snack credit strategies. Strategy 1, use snack credits for breakfast. Yep, you can choose to use your quick service or table service credits on breakfast foods, but typically breakfast is going to be a cheaper meal than lunch or dinner. And if you've already prepaid for your meals, you're going to want to prioritize the dining options that tend to be on the higher end of the pricing spectrum because you've already paid for all the higher end stuff before your trip. That being said, there are several options around the parks and resorts that you can use your snack credits on that could give you a nice breakfast without wasting one of your fast food or table service credits. For instance, you can pick up the warm cinnamon roll from Gaston's Tavern in Magic Kingdom, a liege waffle from Connections Cafe and Eatery in Epcot, or something more savory, maybe a quiche Lorraine from L'Oreal, the candy-painted cinnamon rolls from Ice Cold Hydraulics in Hollywood Studios. I know, another cinnamon roll, but you could also pick up something a bit lighter and more refreshing for breakfast instead, like the Rising Moon Overnight Oats from Ronto Roasters. And there's the colossal cinnamon roll from Creature Comforts in Animal Kingdom. Okay, cinnamon rolls are just a really good snack credit deal because they're usually priced really high, and I love for you to get as much of your money's worth as you can. But that said, it might also not be a bad idea to use snack credits to get a massive Trenta size of your favorite Starbucks coffee treat at Disney's various Starbucks selling locations too, since it doesn't matter which size drink you order, they're all just going to cost one snack credit, so you might as well go big or go home. Strategy number 2, use them around the Epcot festivals. So many festival items that are featured around Epcot seasonal food booths actually get the DDP snack credit green light, so you can taste your way around the fests without worrying about paying out of pocket to try them all out. So here's a great thing about the Disney dining plan. While each of the dining plans will lay out your dining and snack credits for you to make sure you've got a certain allotment you can use each day, you're more than welcome to spend those credits whenever you want to. So if you literally want to go have like 7 table service meals in one day, you can. I don't recommend it, but you can. Here's an example. If you're doing a 4-day trip, if you wanted to taste around the current Epcot festival for lunch instead of eating at a quick service or table service that day, you could technically spend all 4 of your snack credits during your Epcot day and then shift one of your quick or table service credits to a different park day to use. Like maybe you shift a quick service credit originally meant for Epcot to your Hollywood Studios day, so you can have 3 quick service meals laid out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Or maybe you take a table service credit from your Epcot day and splurge on a 2-credit sit-down meal instead for a high-end restaurant like Cinderella's Royal Table in Magic Kingdom, or storybook dining at Artist Point with Snow White at Wilderness Lodge, or even Hoop-de-Doo Musical Review at Fort Wilderness. And strategy 3, stock up on snacks as a last resort. I don't necessarily recommend this strategy, but it is a better strategy to have instead of letting your snack credits go to waste. If you're coming to the end of your trip and you still have snack credits left to spend, yet you really don't know what you want to spend them on, you can use your remaining snack credits to purchase those standard packaged snacks that you'll find featured in the Disney confectionaries or gift shops. Now, this isn't technically going to get you your money's worth out of those credits because more than likely they'll have been cheaper if you were to just pay for them out of pocket. Plus, you're not going to get those snacks fresh from the bakery display cases, but this gives you the option to still use the rest of your credits before you leave and have a few Disney goodies to take home with you and maybe give them to your babysitter or your pet sitter or your house sitter or your kid's teacher, whatever. Okay, this is a really interesting major mistake that a lot of people are going to probably make. I don't think we've talked about this on the channel before. The Orlando airport is huge. Like if your flight ever gets delayed here and you're stranded for the next few hours, you're not going to get bored. There's a lot to look at. But because MCO is ginormous, it's more than likely going to take you a bit to get where you need to go. Let's say you want to book a rideshare, for instance, to take you from the airport over to wherever you're planning on staying inside or outside the Disney bubble. More than likely, you're going to have to take an airport shuttle, an escalator, a whole lot of walking, and a magic carpet ride to get from the plane and over to the rideshare area. Okay, the magic carpet ride is just wishful thinking, but how cool would that be? So don't plan on booking your rideshare ride until you're actually at the rideshare pickup or drop-off location, meaning after you've picked up your luggage from the baggage claim area too, because that can take a really long time in Orlando for some reason. This will also help you make 100% sure that you're telling your rideshare driver the correct location where you'll be waiting for them, since MCO does have rideshare pickup areas in each of their terminals. If you don't have extra luggage that you need to worry about, you may want to take an extra shuttle ride over to Terminal C to use their rideshare pickup area. While Terminals A and B have rideshare locations that tend to be super busy and congested, Terminal C will oftentimes be a lot more chill, since this terminal is more typically used for international arrivals and departures. Now, mobile order is probably one of my favorite features of the My Disney Experience app. Instead of having to wait in a super long physical line for one of the theme park's quick service locations, I can just order my food and pay for it and choose a pickup time and make my life 10 times easier and get that plastic cheese in my mouth 10 times faster. But what many folks forget about is that there are actually a few quick services in Disney Springs that you can mobile order from on the My Disney Experience app too. And the hotels as well, by the way, but this point is about Springs because everybody always forgets. So this includes Emirates Patisserie, BB Wolf Sausage Co., Deluxe Burger, and Goofy's Candy Co. But there are more. Even if you're not seeing the quick service you want to eat at as a mobile order option on the My Disney Experience app, there's a good possibility that the quick service still might have mobile order if you use it through its own website. This includes places like The Polite Pig, Chicken Guy, Everglaze Donuts and Cold Brew, and Blaze Fast Fired Pizza. So don't wait in lines for these particular locations. Go to their websites and use their mobile order. So FYI, you can honestly spend a whole day at Disney Springs without worrying about paying for a theme park ticket, and we want to help you plan out your shopping district day too. So go ahead and scan the QR code you see on the screen or head over to disneyfoodblog.com/Disney Springs after this, and we'll send you our free Disney Springs quick guide filled with restaurant recommendations and favorite stores, must-see entertainment, and so much more. This place is huge. There's a lot to do, and I don't want you to miss out on any of it. All right, back to our major mistakes. I think one of the most miserable times I've ever had in Epcot was on a day that it was absolutely downpouring and my tennis shoes and socks got absolutely soaked through. Unfortunately, I didn't have any spare socks to switch into, so I just ended up sporting around soggy socks all day, and those socks kept falling into my shoe and they started rubbing my heel the wrong way. And by the end of the night, my poor feet were so wrinkled up that you could have just sprinkled them into a bowl of Raisin Bran and nobody would have known the difference. That is a gross visual. I am very, very upset with Bria at this point of making me think about my feet being raisins in a bowl of Raisin Bran. Sorry about that if you're eating. Now, while you don't want to overpack your park bag and weigh yourself down during the day, packing an extra pair of socks or shorts or, yep, about to say it, underpants could make the difference between instant relief after a good old Floridian monsoon or being an absolute pain for the remainder of your day. And if you don't want to trash your soaked through garments because they're still in good condition, just a little damp, I'd recommend bringing some Ziploc baggies along with you. That way you can tuck the wet stuff into those Ziplocs and keep them from drenching the rest of the stuff that's loose in your park bag. And let me just do another little PSA. I know I say this all the time on this channel, but pack more underpants than you think you're going to need for a Disney World trip because it is so hot and so humid, and sometimes you just don't want to keep wearing those wet underpants. That's all I have to say. Bring extra ones, change into them. You're going to thank me. Ooh, this next major Disney World mistake is a brand new one for those of you going in 2025, because guess what? That's only a few months away. And that means we're only a few months away from the start of Disney World's newest hotel perk. Those folks staying at a Disney resort, including the DVC properties, are going to get a free water park ticket to whichever Disney water park is open on their arrival day, which will either be Blizzard Beach or Typhoon Lagoon. So what's the problem with that? Seems like a pretty sweet deal. You're not wrong. It is a pretty good deal. But let's think about the logistics of it for a second. Since you can only access this perk on your check-in day, I'm already predicting a lot of people arriving at their Disney World hotel much earlier to take advantage of this. After all, you'll want to get in as much time in the water park as possible. But unfortunately, those early arrival times mean lots of people might be arriving at their resort before their hotel rooms are ready for them to move into. So if you make it to the hotel, luggage and kids in tow, ready to take on the water park, and then you have to drag your bags into your hotel lobby's bathrooms so that you and your family can change into your water park attire before dropping your stuff off with Bell Services, and you likely won't be the only ones. Every other family checking in that day who wanted to take advantage of the water park perk are going to be there in the bathroom with you, chaotically getting ready for the water park. And getting ready for a water park isn't a speedy task. Trust me, I know, my kid loves water parks. You got to put on your swimwear, then your clothes on top of that, then the sunscreen, then all your accessories like sandals and hats and sunglasses. Then you got to fill up your water bottles. You get the picture. It's a whole ordeal. Thankfully, at least towels at the water parks are complimentary for those staying at Disney World resorts, so you don't have to worry about those, although there's a $2 fee for everyone else. Ultimately, we're expecting a lot of people running around in the lobby area getting ready for the water parks before dropping their luggage off to be picked up later. So if you're planning on taking advantage of this perk, I implore you, bring those water park essentials in your carry-on bag or have your swimwear already on and ready to go. Okay, first things first, if you've never been to Magic Kingdom before and you've never seen Happily Ever After with the whole castle projections and fireworks combo and Tink flying down, then you're gonna wanna watch that nighttime spectacular around the Castle Hub or somewhere on Main Street, USA. And you're gonna wanna stake out your spot at least 30 minutes ahead of time to make sure you don't find yourself searching for somewhere to watch the show at the last minute and coming up dry. However, if you've watched Happily Ever After before, maybe you just don't wanna deal with all the Main Street crowds because they're super overwhelming. Totally get that. There are other places where you can watch the fireworks for a really unique and way less hectic vantage point. For example, watching the fireworks from behind the castle in Fantasyland gives you a totally different perspective minus the crowds. You may even see Cinderella because sometimes she comes out of her castle to watch the fireworks as well. Another spot you might want to check out is the bridge and boardwalk area in Frontierland. Plenty of elbow room back there. You might also want to watch the fireworks from one of the outdoor Magic Kingdom rides if you can time things just right. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, those might be a zipping and a zooming around the dark, but if you're riding either coaster during showtime, then you're going to have that epic angle for those big bursts of color way up in the sky. Same thing with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Awesome view if you happen to be kind of cresting that hill right when the fireworks are going off. Now, can you guess which ride is my all-time favorite to watch Happily Ever After from? The real DFP people out there already know. It's People Mover, which will come as a shock to literally no one because I like to ride People Mover at all hours of the day. But even if you don't have a People Mover obsession like me, this Tomorrowland ride is still a solid attraction to get you views of the fireworks from multiple angles, all while you're chilling in your seat and far away from all the people. Plus, since you're going to be riding it at night, you'll also get to see the Tron Light Cycle run lights in all their glowing glory. It's a whole vibe and a memory worth making. Now, here's a weird suggestion for you, and yeah, it's the weirdest one I've got for now. You can watch the fireworks from a sleigh. Yep, as in Santa and reindeer and jingle bells, that sort of sleigh. There's a full-fledged photo op sleigh that's parked right outside Ye Olde Christmas Shop in Liberty Square, and it just so happens to have a lovely view of the fireworks each night if you're lucky enough to snag a seat on it before the show begins. The main problem with each of the viewing locations I just spouted off, though, even People Mover, is that you're not going to be able to see the Happily Ever After projections from these areas, just the fireworks, which may be a no-go for you if you want the entire package. And it's why I suggested still prioritizing Main Street if it's your first ever vantage point of this show. However, there might be a way for you to get the best of both worlds. The whole Happily Ever After fireworks spectacular and a private viewing area without paying for a fireworks dessert party, which is always an option too. And that's by staking out your spot over at the Walt Disney World Railroad Station platform. Now, this one's a bit of a gamble because it's not always accessible since Disney sometimes reserves it for special events. That's how good the view is from up there. But when it's open, it's like having your own VIP deck minus the hefty price point. You'll just have to stake your claim early on before other people catch on to this fireworks hack too. By the way, this is a great spot as well because you can be one of the first people out of the Magic Kingdom after the fireworks, which means you may not have to deal with all that chaos when everybody's doing that mass exodus from the park. So bad news, there are a ton of Disney World mistakes you might accidentally make during your visit. I make them all the time. Good news though, we've got even more videos for you to check out to help put an end to those mistakes so you don't have to worry about them during your trip. But before you click over to another one of our videos, don't forget to pick up your free Disney Springs guide right now over at disneyfoodblog.com/DisneySprings. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.